Let's talk family. Let's talk family about the things that impact us as individual family members, as a whole, as a community family, and as a country family. Let's Talk Family Life. Let's Talk Family is a program brought to you by Family Life Ministries. Family Life Ministries is a counseling organization that primarily offers individual, family, and relationship counseling. We have counselors who are available to speak on a number of subjects for your conferences for church, school, or work. Family Life Ministries is also known for its media programs, the divorce recovery program Fresh Start, and its company counseling package, the Employee Assistance Program. Visit our website at www.familylifeministriesjamaica.com. Find us on Facebook at FLM Family Life Ministries or on Instagram at FLMJA, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Family Life Ministries FLMJA. We'll give our numbers at the end of this program. Now here's today's episode of Let's Talk Family.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Family. Hi, I'm your host, Halcyon Reed. Our verse today is from Psalm 127, verse 3. Children are a gift from the Lord, the fruit of the womb, a reward. How would you react if you saw or knew a child that was being abused, whether you witnessed it or if the victim themselves told you? How should you respond? What should we do? With us today to give some answers and guidance with this is Pauline Bain, counseling psychologist. Welcome, Mrs. Bain.
Thank you.
So, once again, we want to talk a little bit about child abuse. So sometimes there's a child being abused and there are other persons in the home or in the system, whether it's church, school, neighborhood, whatever it is. So as the so-called non-victim, what is usually our emotional or psychological response to the suspicion or realization that a child is being abused?
Well, often people are first surprised, and depending on the circumstances, whether or not the abuser is violent, sometimes people are afraid and they're not sure what to do. They don't know how to approach it because the person who is violent may come and beat them up, hurt them badly, hurt their children, or destroy their property. So people are definitely scared and they don't want to let the abuser know that they report it.
Is it just fear, or are there times when people normalize it? They feel like, oh, well, it's nothing, yeah, it happens, that sort of thing.
You're right. Sometimes they see what's happening, but they have not identified it as abuse. They just see it as, well, the child is bad, so the parent can beat up the child. Mm-hmm. Or the man is drunk, so he does those kinds of things to the child. Mm-hmm. So we accept this kind of behavior. So one of the things we need to get to, the place that we need to get to, is to say, this is wrong, this is not good for the child, the victim needs help, and the perpetrator also needs help. And this is one of the things we don't do well. We treat the victim, but we hardly treat the perpetrator.
Mm-hmm. So when we discover these things, what should we absolutely not do, and tell us why?
I would say, if you discover this, it's better if you don't talk to the person if you know that person is violent. Mm-hmm. If you can find 2 or 3 persons who can sit this man or this woman down and say, this is what you're doing, it is wrong, I would say go ahead. But if the person is violent, I would say don't try to even talk to the person about it.
And why is that?
Because the person may turn on you and hurt you. Mm-hmm. So there is a place for protecting yourself, but you still should not keep quiet from the point of view of not reporting it.
So what should be the proper response? What should we do and why?
We should report it to the police or to depending on what it is, the Ministry of Youth or the Victim Support Unit in the Ministry of Justice. We have to get 2 or 3 persons to help us to talk about it and make a plan to know what to do. But keeping quiet is not the answer.
Sisoka as well, right?
Yes, if it's sexual abuse, Sisoka is a place to go to so that you can tell the police what's happening.
Okay. So you have listed some places that we may go. Who do we talk to and how do they respond? How do they help?
Well, I know that for Sisoka, the officers are better trained than just going to a regular police station. And I know that in some police stations, there are police officers who are assigned to talking about abuse and family matters. So when you go to a police station, you need to find the person who is sensitive enough to listen to what you have to say. If not, it may not be helpful. And that's sad.
So from your experience, you may have come upon this during your counseling and you may have had to make some report. How do these persons respond when you call or go there to make a report? What exactly do they do?
Well, I have had to make report to the Children's Registry about abuse. And what really happens is that I hand in my written report and they give me a slip of paper that indicates that I have reported the incident. After that, I have heard nothing. And I feel a little dissatisfied with that because I don't know how much they have followed up the situation.
But as a counselor, do they give you a tracking number so you may call back and check on the case?
They do give a tracking number. But often, not much has happened. And this concerns me.
All right. What can we do?
I think that we need to be more aware. We need to collaborate more rather than just leaving it to one agency. Mm-hmm. Of course, there is the issue of each set of people very busy, whether it is the nurses or the teachers or the doctors or the counseling psychologists. Everybody is very busy. But we need to find a forum to work out how can we collaborate so that the child who is the victim can get better assistance.
One of the things that you recommend in helping children through child abuse is counseling. Why is that necessary? How does it work? How does it help?
Well, people who are abused, and especially children, need to work through what has happened to them. And I do play therapy, and they come into the room and they do all kinds of things in the room. They play, they paint, and as they do that, if they want to express themselves, I'm there to listen. If they don't want to talk for a while, I'm there to be with them so that when they're ready to talk, I can listen to what's happening to them. And this works in that after a few sessions, the child begins to trust me, because part of the issue with children who are abused is that they find it difficult to trust people. Because I trusted this person and this person abused me. Mm-hmm. So it is helping them to get relief from their fears, to begin to trust somebody else who may be the counselor or a sensitive teacher, so that they can reduce the trauma and the pain that they're feeling. And counseling is very important for children who have been abused. And sometimes we do not recognize how important it is.
All right. And just to mention, there's Family Life Ministries where you operate and I operate. And we have gotten a lot of children who have come in with issues like this. And it has been very helpful for them. But we want to mention some other places. Are there any other private or public places that may be able to help these children through counseling? I know there's a Child Protection and Family Services Agency. Is there anywhere else?
Yes, there's the Victim Support Department. There's a Child Guidance Clinic, and there are child guidance clinics in a number of parishes in Jamaica now.
Okay.
If the situation is physical and the children show signs of physical abuse, there's the Bustamante Children's Hospital also.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Main. The Bible is clear that children are to be looked upon as a blessing, not an inconvenience. They're a reward from God. Truly, children are a gift from God. Well, that's all we have the time for today. But I know that we've answered questions many persons have had. So join us next week for another interesting topic. Thanks for listening. I'm Halcyon Reed, and this was Let's Talk Family. Remember to stay safe and to care for others like you would want to be cared for. Have a blessed evening.
And you feel my life, you're everything to me, and there's nothing else I need anymore.
This was Let's Talk Family, a production of Family Life Ministries. If you or anyone you know would like advice and counseling, call us or head office at 1 Cecilio Avenue at 876-926-8101, 876-929-4360, or 876-920-1034, or even or center in Port Moore at 117 Cecile Avenue at 876-939-7917.
This program was produced at the studio of the United Church in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, located at 12 Carlton Crescent, Kingston 10. Call us at 876-926-6059 for your voiceover and broadcasting needs.